Hello BG, I'm Zack Carreon, and this is your Falcon Sports Update. Saturday night, the BGSU football team lost its third game in a row. The Falcons faced their second Big Ten opponent of the year and lost by double digits once again. Sports Director Garrett McKinney looks back at the loss on the road.
BGSU football traveled west to Evanston, Illinois to take on Chicago's Big Ten team, the Northwestern Wildcats. Both teams came into the game looking to bounce back after disappointing Week 2 losses. Northwestern broke open the scoring midway through the first quarter with a 5-yard touchdown run from true senior Justin Jackson. BG responded quickly with an ensuing 9-play, 81-yard drive by James Morgan and the Falcon offense. Senior running back Josh Cleveland capped off the drive with an impressive 20-yard run to knot up the score 7-7. Northwestern came back quickly and struck again as junior quarterback Clayton Thorson threw a 58-yard strike to Bennett Skowronek to retake the lead.
Skowronek's open, he's got it, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Falcons offense tried to respond and drove nearly 60 yards down the field before receiver Datron Guyton fumbled the ball, which Northwestern returned for 45 yards.
Ball comes out, picked up by the Wildcats. Back to the 45 to the 50, Iguabuke. On the run, cutting left to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, and down inside the 20 at the 15.
The following play found Clayton Thorson connecting with Bennett Skowronek again for another Northwestern score. Northwestern scored 2 more touchdowns before the half and held the Falcons scoreless. The Wildcats led 35-7 at the break, and BG found themselves facing a 4-touchdown deficit. Bowling Green fought hard coming out of the half but was unable to score despite holding Northwestern scoreless in the third quarter. Trailing by 4 touchdowns going into the final quarter of play, head coach Mike Jinks decided to sit quarterback James Morgan in favor of true freshman Jarrett Dagey. Dagey drove from the Falcons' own 25-yard line to the Northwestern 18 before stalling out and failing to complete a 4th down pass attempt. Northwestern scored 2 more times in the 4th quarter, making the final score 49-7 in favor of the Wildcats. Freshman quarterback Jarrett Dagey completed 2/3 of his pass attempts for 90 total yards, while James Morgan completed 15 of 26 passes for 166 yards. Coach Jinks addressed the decision to sit Morgan in favor of the freshman QB.
We needed a spark and felt like, we had talked through it throughout this week. If we continue to have some of the same struggles that we had, that we were going to look at inserting him because he's performed well in practice and he deserves the opportunity. And moving forward, we will have a competition.
Despite the loss, some bright spots for the Falcons include redshirt freshman Jared Wyatt. Wyatt hauled in his first 4 career catches for 45 total yards, while punter Joe Davidson had 4 kicks down inside the 20-yard line, including a 61-yard punt. Bowling Green also won the turnover battle, forcing 2 fumbles. The Falcons take on Middle Tennessee this Saturday on the road at 7 p.m. Reporting for BG24 Sports, I'm Garrett McKinney.
Coach Jinks addressed the media today and explained what he learned studying film from the game.
I know what kind of football team we have. We're starting to get a little bit healthy. We're still more talented and we're deeper than we were last year. And just wanted to make sure that you bring that energy back the next day to keep them motivated and playing hard, because you watch that game, you watch the Michigan State game, even last week's game against South Dakota. I mean, they played to the final whistle. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask. And then what we've got to do as coaches, if there are guys out there that aren't able to make these tackles, these catches, these throws, we've got to put other guys in there, get them other opportunities, and we've got to continue to recruit. So that's what we'll do. Again, we are better. It's a long season, and we'll see where we end up. Well, we've made some changes there as well. There'll be some guys getting some more reps on the defensive end. And then the second thing is we've played a lot of man early on in the season. We need to look at that and we need to evaluate that. That's something that I've talked to our defensive staff about. We'll be making the necessary changes moving forward.
BGSU Radio Sports Executive Director Ryan Strohbeck breaks down what he learned this weekend and what to expect from the Falcons this Saturday against Middle Tennessee State. After last week's game, do you think there's a quarterback controversy in Bowling Green between James Morgan and Jarrett Dagey?
Well, Zach, that's a great question. Coming into Saturday, we really don't know what's going to go on. James Morgan, we thought he could be some type of quarterback of the future for the Falcons, but really hasn't showed much promise here early on in this season. So I expect James Morgan to start on Saturday, but if things get rough early on, don't be surprised if you see Jarrett Dagey come in and replace Morgan early in that first half, maybe in the second half.
After looking strong early in the year, the defense gave up almost 700 yards against Northwestern. Can we expect anything better from this defense this coming season?
The defense did look really good against Michigan State and South Dakota. However, they did struggle against Northwestern. Mainly they did force 2 turnovers, which is good, and they won that turnover battle, but they gave up a ton of yards, especially after some long plays that hurt Northwestern, and that up-tempo speed of Northwestern really killed Bowling Green, and they got tired quickly.
Well, it's clear we've been struggling offensively in the passing game. Is there anybody in the running game that Bowling Green can rely on?
So the offense has struggled early on, and passing really hasn't been effective so far for the Falcons. So they got to go back to their roots and what got them that 3-game winning streak back at the end of 2016. Josh Cleveland, he showed some flashes in the pan against Northwestern this past weekend. So I see him maybe carrying a majority of the workload going forward. Don't forget they have that Thunder in Donovan Wilson, but Andrew Clare, a freshman, could see some action in the backfield as well.
Going into Middle Tennessee State this Saturday, what can we expect from this Bowling Green team? Can they improve after losing 3 straight games?
So Middle Tennessee has struggled much like Bowling Green has early on this season. Their starting quarterback went down with an injury early on. He could be back for this Bowling Green game. So if he comes back, it could be a rough game for Bowling Green again. But if they go down 0-4 on the season, Bowling Green, don't get your hopes down, fans. It still is early on. We still have MAC play. Miami last year started 0-6 on the season before ending on a 6-game winning streak and reaching a bowl. So there's still hope, Falcon fans, but just be wary if they start 0-4. Don't get your hopes down.
Ryan, thanks for coming to the show and answering our questions.
Zach, it's always a pleasure.
Well, while the football team was in Chicago, the BGSU men's soccer team hosted the University of Cincinnati in a different kind of football game. The Falcons were looking to start a new winning streak after losing a close one at Michigan State, but things didn't go quite as planned. Midway through the first half, BG surrendered an own goal to give the Bearcats a 1-0 advantage going into the half. In the second half, Cincy put in another goal to double their lead. A late goal by sophomore Chris Brennan got BG within 1 with 1:30 left to play, but the Bearcats retaliated quickly with a late goal of their own to put the game away at 3-1. Head coach Eric Nichols commented on the 2-goal deficit after the match.
To be honest, it felt like we were chasing from the opening whistle. For one reason or another, we were flat tonight, and disappointed in certainly the way we prepared the team because we must have missed something. Hats off to Cincinnati. They came in and they're on a good run. Got a couple good results. We knew to expect a good team, and they put it on us, and it took us way too long to get them sorted in that first half. And yeah, the own goal was unlucky, but they deserved to be up in the first half for sure. I thought we were better in the second half, kind of got one against the run of play to go up 2, and then yeah, our backs are against it at that point.
The loss breaks the 13-game home win streak for the Falcons and is the first time that they've lost a match by 2 or more goals since 2011. Tomorrow night, BG will head to South Bend for their toughest competition so far this season against the second-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That match starts at 7 p.m. That's all for your Falcon Sports Update. Check in again on Friday for more updates and stories about your favorite Falcon teams.